Hello again, this is my second video, and today I'm going to talk about my top 9 favorite Nightmare on Elm Street movies. Starting with number 9. Well, the least favorite movie in the series would definitely be Nightmare 2, which is known by a lot of people as the gay version of Nightmare, or it's called that by a lot of people. And from the bird getting killed and all the weird stupid moments, this movie definitely gets a low rating. I've only seen it maybe 2 or 3 times, and it gets the least amount of play on my DVD player for sure. Number 8 would be Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare, which it wasn't the final. There are some good parts in it. It's in 3D at the very end. It was a bit cheesy probably, but it was probably one of the earlier movies to ever do a 3D. The cool parts would be that his backstory is in it a lot, and there's a lot of fighting between him and his daughter, and the whole backstory with him having a daughter and everything else. But the cheesiness of the "I'll get you, my pretty," and Freddy being kind of a real joke by then, and the video game kill, and there's so many cheesy, stupid moments in this. The deaf guy getting his head blown up by the noise of Freddy scraping his nails on the chalkboard was pretty cool actually, but there's so many stupid moments in that one. Yeah. 7th favorite nightmare would be Nightmare 5, Dream Child, which is when my favorite character in the entire series, Alice, ends up having a baby, and Freddy somehow gets his way into the baby's mind and becomes a dream demon to her baby and takes over the baby's dreams, and lots of hilarity happens in that one as well. It's a bit crazy, that one. It had a darker tone until they edited it to death. If you really see some of the old clips, or like the unused parts, like Greta's death, and some of the kills were a little bit longer if you see the original cuts that were made. But yeah, Freddy was kind of a joke at this time too. I do like Freddy being funny, so it's not a bad thing to me, but ranking them, I have to put it this low. The next one, which should be number 6 in the Freddy Chronicles, well, not my favorite. 6 would be the new Nightmare remake. I almost put it at the very bottom, but it does have some cool creative kills and cool dream sequences, but I hate that it's a remake, yet they didn't keep a lot of, like, Nancy's character is so not like Nancy was. So I'm rating it pretty low on this list. It would have been even lower if I could have put it lower, because to me Robert Englund is the only one who should play Freddy, and I put it lower than Nightmare 2, but Nightmare 2 is just so terrible. You have to put it a lot higher, a lot lower than that. My next favorite, well, number 5 in my favorite list would be Nightmare 4, which features the character of Alice, who is my favorite, the Dream Master. And this character never dies, actually. She's one of the few Freddy girls who never die. Even in part 5, she doesn't die and she beats Freddy both times. I really love this character. I mean, this is when the movies are starting to slowly get dumb, and well, not dumb, but like jokester Freddy. But I like jokester Freddy, and the part where he's in the school with the apple, I love that scene. And then what else? There's so many great scenes in that one, and the characters are very like the kills are based off of what the kids are into, like karate, or this one doesn't like bugs, or this or that. I really like how they did it, catering to the characters and their hobbies or whatever they're into. And there's a great scene in that one where Alice is dreaming. She's in a movie theater and she's dreaming, and she starts floating towards the movie screen. That's a pretty cool scene. I really love that. And the kick-ass scene at the end where Alice kicks his ass is the best. Definitely the best kill from a nightmare girl to Freddy, in my opinion anyway. Next on the list would be New Nightmare. This is my number 4 favorite. This is by Wes Craven. He has only done 2 nightmares where he was in charge of how it went. And it's different than all the other ones because it's sort of Freddy as an entity, an evil entity, and Heather Langenkamp gets to come back, and the little boy Miko, he is so great as her son, and he's actually very creepy. We've seen him in other movies as well, other horror movies, but he's pretty good in that one. And they did do some moments from the first movie, but in a cool way, like her feet getting stuck in the mud or whatever, but that was like the stairs and all that. And the upside down kill on the ceiling was also done, but it's in the hospital instead. It's a really cool one. And I liked how they used the earthquakes that were happening in I guess LA or whatever to be part of the story. So that was really enjoyable. I really like New Nightmare. My third favorite, number 3, would be Freddy vs. Jason. That movie kicks some serious ass. I love both of them. I am a Jason fan too, but Freddy I've always liked more because, number 1, he has a personality, he talks, he has more reason to kill, I think. And Jason's just a little hack job killer and just kills everybody because what, his mom was killed and he drowned or whatever. But like, I don't know. I always thought Freddy's idea and Freddy's way of getting people was more interesting with the dreams. So this movie is awesome. I love the big fight at the end with the 2 of them, but I wish that was more of the story, like of the whole movie, not just these dumb kids that are in it for most of it. So that's why it only ranks number 3 here. Number 2 favorite is Nightmare 3, Dream Warriors. A lot of fans love this one. I am no exception. It started the whole thing where the dreams are a bit more catered to who the person is and what they do and what they like and what they're scared of. That sort of started that idea, and it was a brilliant idea. Freddy does have some wisecracks, and he always will have that, but he was a lot more scarier in this one. Also the concept where he's sort of making it look like they're killing themselves and they're in this mental hospital, like getting counseled for it. It's very effective and very good. And that's also used again in Freddy vs. Jason, the whole hypnosil and all that. So Nightmare 3, definitely number 2 favorite of all the series. Number one, of course, is the original Nightmare on Elm Street. We had Johnny Depp, who was my favorite actor of all time, and Scream Man, and Heather Langenkamp in her first, role as Nancy, and she is one of the best scream queens next to Jamie Lee Curtis and Neve Campbell, in my opinion. Even though she does die in part 3, but she does come back in New Nightmare, which shows how, she's one of the best characters and one of the best to fight Freddy. Now, it's very scary, that one. The whole thing with the bed and Johnny Depp getting sucked in, or when Tina gets pulled on the ceiling. It's very scary, and you made you sort of wonder, like, well, not really. If you were a kid and you watched it, you'd be scared, like, can this guy really come get me, And that's why Nightmare 1 is the most scary and the best one.